Hello and welcome to Coach's Corner. My name is Jason Devensenis and this week I'm with Mark Pederson, Development Coach and Backline Coach. Mark, we faded away sort of last week against Essendon in the Northwest Community Cup, had a good start. What were some of the major problems?
Well, I just felt that probably a bit of mental toughness. It's happened to us a few times this year, and that's a part of it's a progression that we're trying to get better at, and it happens to a lot of young sides, which we are at the moment.
Do you think it comes down to sort of the mental fatigue of outlasting a full 90 minutes, or is it maybe a fitness issue?
No, it's definitely not fitness. We've had a great pre-season. I just honestly believe it's an immaturity. It's something they need to work through, and they're not used to, working through that mental toughness, that mental barrier, which they don't get at local footy. So obviously the step up in grade to VFL is a little bit of a culture shock to a few of them. They probably weren't prepared. They were told early, but they probably weren't prepared for the full brunt of the physicality and also the mental aptitude you have to have.
Yeah, fair points you make there. And we've got last week's side here where we had Jai Robinson come in at the last minute for Matty Fairbairn as a result of a last minute situation there. Unfortunately, we've got Aaron Christensen who won't be playing us with this week. He's gone back to Calder. Shraven will be at 23rd, I believe, at this stage. So who do you think really impressed you from last week, even though we didn't get the 4 points?
Well, actually, Christensen did impress me last week. I thought he got 20-odd possessions and was very good. Every now and again, his kicking may have let him down, or his choice of where to go, that type of thing, which was a problem with us last week. We went very indirect, hence why we lost the game so badly, because we ticked all our KPIs. We were very good at the stoppages, and we had more hard ball gets than they did, but we wasted the ball quite often.
And we've got, obviously being a development coach, you'd be keeping an eye on some of the young kids coming through. Apart from Linton and Fairbairn, who are more senior players, which of these young kids really impressed you last week? I noticed John Cooper probably had one of his better games for the club.
Yeah, Johnny's played a couple of good games now, and he'll really be pressing for senior selection tonight. Also, Jack Yellen, he's been very solid all year, and I'd love to see Jack get a crack at senior footy, because I think he's up to it. Also, Totino, he's been very consistent, just needs to defend a little bit more, but he's really having a crack, and I like what I see there. Gutters has been quite good this year. He's he's back in development at the moment, but he's been very good. And like you look at someone like Cleary, that a few weeks ago was sent back to his local at West Coburg, came back through the development and back into the seniors, which it's through hard work, and those types of things really pleased me. I thought last week, Blair was very good. Hartley was very good, and Sardi. Our backline's been, I think, our biggest strength this year, and obviously this fella, he got a lot of ability, and he was very good as well last week.
Certainly was. I believe he was actually best on ground in our line of the round. And you talk about especially the defence. I mean, I think looking at this right now, we have the highest sort of turnover. I mean, Jai Robinson, he's played development. Robert Teller's spent some time back. Blair's a young kid coming through, so is Sardi. These young kids, they just keep showing constantly how well they've got room to grow, and you also can see that with guys like Cooper and Yellen and Guthrie. Do you think this side, is it, some would have said this is the Achilles heel at the start of the year, but it's really just progressing into just a really solid defensive unit that can stop teams?
Well, absolutely, because we're always giving away height, and we're going to have a bit of a problem with that this week as well. But the thing is, they all play their role. They understand what Germo is asking them to do, and when we need to play tempo footy, we chip the ball around a fair bit out of defence, because we just can't keep bombing the ball into the centre of the ground, because we are struggling in the height department. So we've got to be very careful on how we get the ball out of defence, and I think they do it quite well. They've really learned their role as backmen, and how to go back and out, and all the instructions that Germo and the coaches have given them this year, I think they've done it pretty much to a T.
And you mentioned that we give up height. I mean, guys like Majak Dor, Daniel Curry this week against Werribee, which is at Avalon Airport Oval at 2 p.m, which is for the seniors, 11 a.m. for the development. It's just quite difficult. How do you reckon how do you counteract that? I mean, our main ruckman, Ben Sortino, is probably 192, which is quite short for a ruckman, but he's done a superb job this year. No one can deny that. But how do you counteract when you've just got these monsters, if you can almost say, of guys like Magic Dore and Daniel Curry?
Well, we do it every week, especially against Geelong. I think we really struggled against Williamstown early in the year because we were quite new at it, and it was a bit of a shock playing against guys that were so big. But now they're used to doing that. Like Blairy can take it all. I can remember him, up against Quinton Lynch, Collingwood that day. So he can play tall. Hearts has been fantastic, and you got Adam Sard. What's he? 186 or something.
186.
Yeah. 178 is he? Well, he also plays tall because he just gets that fist in there when need be, and blokes like Robber also, what they've got to work out, they've got to time it right, they've got to have their third man up, and that's the only way that we can counter. We've just got to play tall, and these boys have been doing that.
Absolutely, and once again, just a final reminder, it is 2 o'clock for the seniors, 11 a.m. for the development game at Avalon Airport Oval in Werribee. Thanks very much, Pedo. It's been great.
Welcome, Jace.
Thanks.
It's been a pleasure.